Morning, students. Welcome to this video session. So, in prior videos, we are discussing in detail about the communication through band limited channels. So, in prior, we have discussed channel equalization and types of the equalizers. So, in this video, let us discuss about linear equalizer and the respective block diagram. So first, let us study what is linear equalizer. So here, the channels, we are using some channels. For the channels, frequency response characteristics are unknown. So we employ a linear filter with adjustable parameters. Okay, and this will be adjusted to compensate for the channel distortion. Such type of filter is called an equalizer. So here first let us consider the design characteristics for a linear equalizer. So in order to consider the design characteristics, first we have to think about the frequency domain point. Okay, so for that purpose we can use a linear filter as a channel equalizer. So this type of blocks are used in the block diagram. So here we can see that transmitting filter, which is represented as GT of F, and the channel is C of F, and the noise which is corrupted is represented by N of T. Okay, that is here it is N of T, and the receiving filter is GR of F, and the equalizer is represented as GE of F. So the output of the equalizer is given to the detector to detect the original input signal. Okay. Now we need to consider the demodulator because the receiving filter consists of the demodulator consists of a receiving filter. And the frequency response is GR of F, which is cascaded with a channel equalizing filter, and that channel equalizing filter is having a frequency response that is GE of F. Okay, students, in the previous class we have studied about channel equalization and types, and there we have discussed in depth that is what is filter. Filter is nothing but in general it is used to attenuate the unwanted signal. Okay, filter is used to attenuate the unwanted signal. Now the received frequency response of filter GR of F should be matched to the frequency response of the transmitting filter, that is GT of F. Okay, and such a way we have to design these two filters so that the product will satisfy the equation, that means modulus of GT of F into modulus of GR of F is equal to XRC of F. Okay, this is the product equation. So in order to satisfy this equation, the main concentration should be there in the designing of the filters. Okay, all of you understood? Yes. Shall we proceed next? Yes. So now this modulus of GR of L should compensate for the channel distortion. Therefore, the equalizer frequency response. So we have seen three different frequency responses. One is in transmitting filter, one is in channel, and another one is in the receiving. So these equalizer frequency response must be equal to the inverse of the channel response. Therefore, with respect to this concept, let us write down the mathematical expression, that is GE of F. GE of F is nothing but equalizer frequency response. So GE of f is equal to 1 divided by C of f. Okay, it should equal to the inverse of the channel response. So channel response is C of f. Therefore, inverse of the channel response is 1 by C of f. That can be written as 1 divided by modulus of G of C of f into e power minus j theta C of f, which is modulus of f is less than or equal to w. Here, the modulus of gr of f is equal to 1 divided by modulus of C of f. Okay. Now, what will be the equalizer phase characteristics? So, we can write the equalizer phase characteristics in such a way that theta E of f is equal to minus theta C of f. Okay. So, if this is the case, okay, the equalizer will be act as a or said to be a inverse channel filter to the channel response. Okay, in the above equation it was very clearly observation is there, that is modulus of gr of f is equal to inverse of the channel response. So if this is the case, the equalizer is said to be inverse channel filter to the channel response. Okay, and also in the prior videos we have discussed n number of things or n number of concepts which is related to the intersymbol interference. So there we note that inverse channel filter will completely eliminates the intersymbol interference which is caused by the channel. Okay, therefore this concept will force us the intersymbol interference to be 0 at the sampling time t is equal to nt. So if this condition, the equalizer, the particular equalizer is called as what? Zero forcing equalizer. Therefore, the input to the detector will be in the form of Ym is equal to Am plus Wm. So here what is Wm? Wm is nothing but noise component, and we were aware about that this noise component is having zero mean Gaussian noise, and the variance sigma square W can be written as integral minus infinity to infinity Sn of f into modulus of gr of f the whole squared into modulus of ge of f the whole squared into df. Therefore, integral minus w to w Sn of f into modulus of x or c of f divided by modulus c of f the whole squared into df. Okay, the noise component is always having zero mean Gaussian, so that the experience of the variance of the noise component can be expressed in such a way. Now, this Sn of f is the power spectral density of the noise. Okay, suppose the noise is white, and the noise what we assumed is white noise. Therefore, the power spectral density Sn of f is equal to n0 by 2. Therefore, the sigma square w, the variance will become n0 by 2 integral minus w to w modulus of x or c of f divided by modulus of c of f the whole squared into df. Okay, so this all are about this is the way we are the process is taken place in the linear equalizer. So the major the major concept of this linear equalizer is that both transmitting filter and the receiving filter should be matched each other, such a way the design should be processed. Okay, thank you all. Hope everyone understood this concept thoroughly. Thank you.